Hello comrades, I will read you a statement of Comrade Filip, who you see in this photo. It is a screen from our conversation in my Polish language channel Odrodzenie Komunizmu, and we made a conversation in the third day of the war, in the war of Ukraine. And because of this conversation, and also because of, especially of the activity of the Comrade Filip in the association Kursk, which make a renovation of the monuments and the tombs of the Soviet soldiers in Poland, and also because of the internet activity of Comrade Filip. Now he's a victim of persecution of cancel culture in the University in Kielce, and what? Of course, I call for the solidarity with Comrade Filip. I hope that it is one of the many examples how the people who are not agree with all this Western hysteria, all this Western propaganda, anti-Russian propaganda, now they are victims. So I call all the comrades in all the world to make solidarity with Comrade Filip and listen his statement. On the third day of the debanderization and denazification operation in Ukraine, I performed on the Polish language channel Odrodzenie Komunizmu, during which I presented my position on the conflict and answered questions from live chat. My position was critical of the extremely one-sided media coverage in Poland, which does not serve to build peaceful relations with the Russian Federation. I have marked, among others, the issue of the Ukrainian army continuous shelling of Donetsk and Lugansk by the Ukrainian army for 8 years, the cult of the OUN-UPA, Stefan Bandera and Roman Shukhevich in post-Maidanian Ukraine, as well as the conventions of diplomacy. Since 2014 I have been an active member of the Kursk Association, which deals with the renovation and restoration of neglected or devastated memorial sites of Polish and Soviet anti-fascist armed acts during the Second World War. According to the statute, in addition to caring for cemeteries and monuments to soldiers of the Red Army and the Polish People's Army, we also deal with activities to integrate national minorities, preserve peace and counter Russophobia, fascism and racism. On my private Facebook profile, I share the activities from the life of our association, which is obviously an association legally registered in the National Court Register and operates in accordance with the legal provisions of the Polish Constitution. During my doctoral studies, I learned from my supervisor that Professor Agnieszka Kasińska-Metryka launched a crusade against me with the aim of removing me from the list of doctoral students, motivating that I allegedly distribute pro-Kremlin propaganda. Not once did anyone from the university invite me to an interview or propose an Oxford debate during which an honest political science discussion between two parties could be organized. On March 29, I learned by email from the doctoral school that the Doctoral Students' Council of the Jagiellonian University wrote a letter to the rector in connection with my disturbing internet activity. Simply put, the confidants sold themselves out and wrote a denunciation. The whole situation was inspired by Agnieszka Kasińska-Metryka, who collected a handful of hats and socks. People jealous of my scientific achievements and extensive research workshop decided out of jealousy and envy to write a letter to the rector himself. I talked to my promoter and told him I had nothing to explain. My social activity concerned my private life and the freedom of speech is guaranteed by the Constitution. I will not meet with informers and shake hands with them, because it offends me to be among such scum. I learned from a friend working in the rector's office that there was a very big scandal in my case, and ideological fanatics would do their best to take the opportunity to remove me from the group of doctoral students. I emphasized that I cannot be accused of anything in terms of content. I did not have a single amendment throughout my 5-year study period. Moreover, I received the rector's scholarship 3 times for the best student of Jan Kochanowski University in Kielce for outstanding scientific achievements. The pressure of the rector turned out to be so strong that I know unofficially that I was removed from the list of doctoral students. The official letter has yet to be received. The activity of Agnieszka Kasińska-Metryka hurt many outstanding scientists, but this is a topic for a separate dissertation. It is enough that 19% of the personnel of the Institute of Political Science of the Jagiellonian University, whose director is Kasińska-Metryka, escaped to the Institute of National Security, and the rest of them fled the university due to mobbing or committed suicide, like Dr. Bartosz Jarosiński. Many people were blocked from defending their PhD or postdoctoral degrees because of their political beliefs or the unwillingness to enter into a deal. At the Institute of Political Science of the Jagiellonian University, Professor Andrzej Młynarski, who is the son of Zygmunt Młynarski, a pre-war member of the Communist Party of Poland, leader of worker strike in Krakow, prisoner of the Sanacja regime, officer of the First Polish Army and post-war state activist, Professor Młynarski, unlike the Diet Fox of the Polish United Workers' Party, never renounced his working class roots and socialist beliefs, and always supported anti-capitalist and anti-fascist activism. In 2014 he translated the article Ukraine-American War, which until now is available on the website of the weekly Przegląd. Against Professor Młynarski is undergoing proceedings before the faculty committee. He is threatened with removal from the university despite over 40 years of work experience and habilitation at the Jagiellonian University. My case is another case of repression recently after Mateusz Piskorski and Jan Engelgard. There were no factors involved in my removal from university. Quite the contrary, deals with the political history of Montenegro and Albania, cultural and ethnic issues in these areas. Illyrology, the study of the ancient Illyrians, as well as history and political initiatives in the multi-ethnic region of Malesia and Madhe. Nobody will deal with these issues in Poland, so I could become a pioneer in education future Polish cadres. I was prevented from doing so and deprived of my right to education. It is not professional qualification that count, but pro-Western political views and social connections. The principle is mediocre but faithful, and ambitious individuals who have their own autonomous thinking are eliminated.